What up, what up, what up, everybody? It's your boy, DFS Up North, and welcome back to another Sunday night football showdown. We got a good one on tap. Well, maybe a good one. We'll see. We've got the Denver Broncos and the Washington Commanders. 43-point game total, 6-point favorites for Bo Nix and the Broncos. We got the Commanders without ya boy, Jaden Daniels once again. But, you know, it's Marcus Mariota's been all right. We've got Washington at home here, which does help, but that does also tell me that the Broncos would be about a 9 to 10 point favorite if they were at Mile High. So this could be a bit of a beatdown. It's the way that I foresee this game going is that the Broncos roll here, that their pass game is on fire against the secondary that can't stop anyone, and the Commanders are going to have to throw it quite a bit to keep up. They do get Terry McLaurin back this week, but that could be a boon for the Broncos defense as Mariota throwing it a ton could lead to some A, sacks, B, some interceptions. There's lots of good value on this slate, like my boy Pat Bryant here. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about DraftKings first here. Let's talk about some of our captain's plays. The obvious play here is going to be Bo Nix. He's a stud. Elite matchup against a brutal secondary. Could put up a monster score here. I wish he was running it a little bit more like he was at the beginning of the year. Give him a better ceiling, but he's your most likely captain MVP. The ownership is at 28% in the captain slot. So if you wanted to go elsewhere and maybe just rack up some of these cheaper wide receivers, I wouldn't hate that at all. Cortland Sutton, Troy Franklin, both under 8% owned. And then on the opposite side of it, right, I don't mind like a Deebo Samuel at 1% in the captain slot. Totally fine. Mariota, much better flex play. I will not be playing him really in the captain slot. He's viable, but not somebody I'm really going to. Deebo smashed last week. Like, I really think that ownership is far too low. Look, I get it. I get the Broncos defense is legit, but Samuel just gets the ball in so many ways that he can absolutely get her done. Sutton, obviously a great play. Been quiet the last few weeks with the emergence of Franklin and Bryant, which sounds like Franklin and Bash, the old TV show on TNT. But he's still a stud. He can put up a monster score, very sure-handed, better flex and captain in my opinion, but he could get there, right? Especially at this ownership. I do kind of like that play. And then loading up with guys like Nix. But the guy to own here, I think, is Troy Franklin. Been so good. One of his favorite targets. I think 9 targets a game over the last couple of weeks. Legit captain upside. Obviously a smash spot. RJ Harvey at the running back. Don't love the ownership. All right. I get the price tag here. I don't love the ownership for a guy that, there's other guys, Beatty, McLaughlin, right? That could take snaps and reps from him. I will likely be playing more of him in the flex. So really, if I was going to narrow this down to 4 captains, it would be Nix because I'm just going to match the field here. And then Sutton, Franklin, and Deebo Samuel getting well over the field in my exposure too. You could go kickers here. I don't hate that. You get the Broncos defense. I do think that the Commanders offense is a little bit better than we give them credit for. I think they get to 20 points tonight, even against this good defense. So if we scroll down here, other guys, we can talk about Terry McLaurin. I'm not going there right away in the CPT, but I think he's a fine flex play. Did catch TD from Mariota in week 8. Like, here's the thing with Scary Terry. We just don't know. He's played like 1.5 games this year. He's been hurt every single week. Who else are we talking about here? Zach Ertz, fine flex play, not somebody that they're really going to, but the running back situation is very interesting. I think that Bill Krosky-Merritt is going down. Chris Rodriguez, seeing his, and Jeremy McSnickles, seeing their value go up a little bit here. And we see that reflected in the ownership as well. He out-touched Bill Krosky-Merritt last time out. I think he's the guy you want to own here, right? Broncos D, good play. I'm not touching JCM, by the way, or Bill Krosky-Merritt. Both kickers, fine. Jake Moody off the practice squad, signed off the Bears practice squad. Will be in line. He's been good, like had double-digit points this year. Will Lutz is a stud, just got a bag, right? Evan Ingram, fine. The ownership's a little bit high for me. I don't mind playing guys like McLaughlin and McNichols, especially if you're playing like a Bo Nix captain, trying to get different there. Marvin Mims Jr., after being fairly involved at the beginning of the year, is now the wide receiver 4. Didn't even have a target last week. Jalen Lane's a punt. Pat Bryant, though, guys, is an outstanding play. I will be at almost 50% at this ownership, right? 20%, not enough. Okay, have to get some of him. Chris Moore, little Jordan Humphreys back in the mix. Could be active here. Mostly a depth guy. Beatty, Mercedes Lewis, Colson Yankoff. Like, these guys are all duds, right? Over on FanDuel, it's more of the same. I am much more likely to play my guy, Bo Nix over here. I will be almost 50%. Okay, I'm trying to get a little bit of leverage on the field. Don't mind doing that with Nix there. All right. Deebo Samuel, less likely here. I think you got to have some exposure to Mariota, RJ Harvey, right? Just with the half point PPR, it makes it much harder for those other guys to get in. There is some value here. Rodriguez is a little bit lower owned at 8,400, but again, he's not going to get workhorse load here, right? He's not going to get that sort of usage. So, not somebody I'm super excited about. Bryant, again, far too cheap. Marvin Mims, cheap. I do prefer Bryant. Chris Moore, no. Evan Ingram, yes. Jalen Lane, I do think that you could like punt as a guy, like could catch a bomb. Anybody else down here really even worth playing? Adam Prentice gets some work. Fullback guy gets involved. Mercedes Lewis saw a target like kind of deep in the red zone. So all of them are viable here. Let's build a couple of lineups. So I talked about, hey, let's go Troy Franklin. Okay, we're going to get Nix in there. Let's get Deebo. Okay, Deebo, Samuel. That leaves me with about 5,000 per player. We talked about Pat Bryant, right? A cheapie. Now you can pretty much do what you want here. Look, here's the deal. I think Mariota could get something done on his legs. I don't think that he's like the world's worst play here. Okay. Him and Deebo are not a bad little pairing. Oh, Robbie Chosen. We didn't even talk about Robbie Chosen. The chosen one. Did they elevate him off the practice squad? Or they cut him? No, they cut him, right? Was that the deal? Yes, they waived him on Friday. Yep. So Robbie Chosen. Don't play him, guys. He gonna be out. But he does fit in this lineup pretty well. Okay. Treylon Burks, guy we didn't really talk about either. That's who I was thinking of that they're going to activate off the practice squad, right? Let me see. Looked good last time out. Doesn't have a designation. Should play here. Obviously he is, going to be behind Deebo and Terry McLaurin. But yeah, I like that sort of lineup, right? That's sort of how I'm building on FanDuel or on DraftKings. On FanDuel, right, we are going with Bo Nix and the MVP. Let's get Pat Bryant in there. You know what? We could go actually. Let's go like this. Let's go Brian Ingram scoring the tutties here. Okay. Means they got 10,000 per position player left. If we go Deebo and Mariota, which we talked about, right? 7,900. We should be able to get somebody pretty decent here. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Let's go Denver. Let's go Denver D. Right. I don't hate that lineup. I don't hate that lineup at all. So that's sort of how I'm building this week, you guys. We went back to the main screen here. But wanted to give take a second here. Obviously, this was quick. I hope this helps. Again, hit me up in the chat. We'll help you out with lineups. But wanted to give a quick update and talk about something that I think is really important here. How do I go back to it? Sharp app is the DFS Army side, or the betting side of DFS Army. And this past weekend, we lost Ray. Ray was a developer, our lead developer over on the Sharp app. Not somebody that I worked with closely, but watched as the Sharp app grew basically from nothing to what it is today. And obviously some smart guys like Geek and Stats over there, but Ray was the driving force behind that. And far too young, passed away unexpectedly. And, I've had this touch my life recently, and this is, my heart is with them. Thoughts and prayers to Ray and his family. And just a reminder that say love you to the people that are close to you, right? And don't waste a minute, right? Don't have any regrets. Don't waste a day. You never know when God is calling you home. So prayers for Ray and his family, and just another good reminder to all of us that our life here is short. And yeah, we get mad when somebody doesn't catch a pass or they don't hit our prop or things like that. But there are things that are bigger than DFS and betting and things like that. So prayers to Ray, his family, everybody who knew him and worked with him, Geek, Stats, Uppers Live Techs, all those guys that I've worked closely with him over the years, grieving right now. So yeah, but again, tell your family you love them, right? and prayers to Ray and his family. I hate to end this on a sour note or a sad note here, but wanted to get that out there. I think that's an important message for everyone today. Good luck in week 13, Sunday Night Football. Looking like a Broncos sweet roll here, but don't count out the Commanders. I think they can be competitive here. All right. Cheers, guys.